The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
So this video is for those of you who are making progress in your life. You're moving forward. You are actually straining forward towards what lies ahead, like the Bible says, forgetting those things that are behind and straining forward towards what lies ahead. So you are moving forward towards your goals, whatever those goals may be, your dreams, the desires of your heart, and you are focused on your primary priorities, and you are making progress. You are making headway. And sometimes what will happen is some of your relationships with your friends and family will change. And I think this is one of the things that a lot of people who are on the path to growth, personal development, on the path in terms of career development in whatever area of your life are not really prepared for. And they tend to be astounded and dumbfounded when their friendships begin to shift for the worse. Even though you are being a kind person, you're not being mean to anyone, you may be a little busier than you used to be because you have a different focus now, right? You were focusing on whatever that goal may be, so that's taking up more of your time. But you are still a decent person, a good person, a person with a good heart. You know, none of us are perfect, but you are moving forward. And what happens with so many of you who reach out to me about this is that you are not prepared when a lot of your relationships begin to change and you start to notice that it's changing for the worse, or you notice friends are falling off by the wayside, or you notice that there's tension as you begin to have success in whatever area of your life that you are focused on in this season. And so it's important to understand that just because you're not competing with a certain friend or a certain family member doesn't mean that that person isn't low-key competing with you. So you might be a person who is competing with yourself, right? The version of who you were, yesterday, who you were last year, and you're trying to be a better version of yourself. So that's the only person you're competing with, the you that you look at in the mirror.
Right.
But everybody is not necessarily of that mindset. And you may notice that you have some friendships that you're starting to sense tension. You're starting to sense that anytime you share good news that you get pushback, and sometimes you're not even sharing good news. It's just that whatever's going on in your life is evident, right? So I'll use some examples so to make it plain. So if you got a new car, you can't really hide that. You're driving that in the parking lot.
Right.
If you bought a new house and you invite, friends and family members to your house, how can you hide where you live? If you just had a baby, you're getting married, if you lost a significant amount of weight, if you were just growing in terms of personal development, so you're talking differently, you are reading books now, you are reading more personal development books that grow you, better your life. So your conversation is beyond the most popular Netflix show.
How about it?
One of the housewives shows. So your conversation is now about the books that you're reading, because you're feeding your brain things to improve your life, to inspire you. So it could be growth in that way. You can select the particular area because I don't. You know what you're working on. But one thing that people are not prepared for who are on the path to success, and here we define success as the achievement of your purpose, the realization of your goals, and the achievement of purpose. So whatever your purpose is in this season, if you set out to be a parent who is homeschooled.
And Dizzle, who is that young lady? Cassandra Mack. Cassandra Mack Ministries. Now, I have a sister who shares the same name, and me being from Chattanooga, we say Cassandra, not Cassandra. Huh? Hold on, pimp. I know you West Coast, but that's Cassandra. He understands me. Hey, Cassandra Mack of Cassandra Mack Ministries. Come on. But she was on complete fire. I could tell you that. And she led us right up to our topic. Are you supported or surrounded? Oh, Lord. So many people want to come around and be down because they see you as some type of fuel, right? Something they can siphon off of. What is real support, though? I'm very interested. How does one show up in support of you? Support isn't enabling. I don't believe it is. Some people think enabling is support. Lord have mercy. We got a lot to unpack tonight. Are you supported or surrounded? A deep intrapersonal and interpersonal inquiry into psycho-spiritual reciprocity and energetic integrity within human relationships. Let's talk about it. I want to know, how would you like people to support you? How do you behave when people don't support you? Why are you in need of support? And if you are the supporter of a myriad of others, do you feel surrounded? Let me ask a question. Are you fed by the circle? Or are you bled by the cycle? Is that love in your life or just lethal disciples? Do you have a crowd in your face, but your soul is still stifled? Like the loudest applause from a silent revival. Have you ever been hugged by a huddle, but still feel like a hostage? Where presents got costumes and mirrors are cautions. They clap when you suffer, they kneel when you fall, but vanish when truth starts repealing the walls. They surround you in stillness like ghosts in a choir, feeding off silence, but call it inspired. That ain't support, that's performance on fire. That's a sacrificial soul wrapped in Sunday attire. They don't see you. They skim through your light like captions beneath what you're begging to write. I don't know. You be carrying their grief like it's tides to the night. But who buries your grief when it climbs into sight? Right? Are you met or maintained? Right? Are you met or maintained? I'm asking the question. Are you met or maintained? Fed or contained? Got love on your name or just echoes of pain? Do they stand when you storm or sit when you shine? Or do they pray for your break because your peace is redefined? They soul grazing, harvesting your calm like crops in confession. They don't want your truth, just your trauma's expression. They call it a bond, but it's more like possession. Validation vampires dressed up as affection. Are you the fixer, the empathetic priest, doing CPR on corpses that you've never released? Yeesh. But support ain't service. It ain't saving the feast. It's mirrors, not masters. It's honest, not pleased. See, trauma taught us to confuse touch with demand, to equate usefulness with being in demand. We be slaves to applause that our souls didn't plan, putting band-aids on hearts just to feel like a man. You ain't loved if you gotta bleed to be real. You ain't safe if your silence is a part of the deal. If you ain't held in your fire, I don't know who I'm talking to tonight. If you ain't held in your fire, just praised in your chill, these aren't supporters, my friend. If you ain't held in your fire, just praised in your chill, then you furnace fakers, not iron to steel. Oh my God, furnace fakers. I need people to be in the fire with me. Don't be a furnace faker. Don't show up when the fire is out. When we come, oh Lord, come on. What if closeness is the code to decode our decay? Come on, man. What if closeness is the code to decode our decay? What if seen feels like danger because love went astray? What if presence feels violent because peace was delayed? And what we call support, when it echoes our shame, oh my God. Proximity ain't presence. Let's split the distinction. Just because they near don't mean they shift your dimension. Oh my goodness, tonight's topic is too much. Tonight's topic is too much. Are you ready are you supported or surrounded? Surrounded by soul grazers. Like cattle, they're just grazing off the crops you've raised internally. Oh, I can go get validation from them. That's a crop. I can go get approval from them. I can go get acknowledgement from them. I can get my ego stroked. You know what? I can play with them and it'll make me feel bigger than they are because they always fall for it. These are the type of crops soul grazers are after. Are you supported? What is support? Someone who is present when you're in the furnace. Oh man, can you imagine someone present while you're in your furnace? They might not be able to feel the flames you feel, but they feel the pain you feel from your internal furnace. And they're there. That's support. They don't want anything. They're not trying to do your work for you. They're just trying to walk with you as you confront your work. That's support. Do you understand? Are you following what we're saying? Support is divine. It's alignment, not an enmeshment leash. Wow, it's not claps from a cliff while you drown underneath. It's not eyes full of envy when you finally speak. It's not yes men in church while you sin every week. It's presence, unbought, unforced, unafraid. It's the hand that don't fix. Just witness your quake. I'm here to witness your quake. I'm here with you as the Richter in you is set off. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the friend who reflects what your ego can't fake. That's support. It's the lover who ain't threatened when you finally break. Next time you feel that crowd press near, ask your nervous system, not your ear. Do they see your shadow? Do they hold your fear? Or are you just surrounded because you volunteered? Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR is on complete fire tonight. Tonight's topic is crazy. When we come forward, of course, I've got questions. I want to know what you think. Are you supported or surrounded? Do you know the difference? Oh, my goodness. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, vendors, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I look back on all those good times we once shared, and I must have been blind just to think I'd find someone new, one who'd love me better than you. Well, it may come as a surprise. Loneliness has opened my eyes. I tried every love I could find. Still I can't get you out of my mind. 'Cause there's no one in the world to hold me. No one in the world's gonna move me. No one in the world can love me like you do, baby. Every time I'm with someone, I'm loving you, yes, I wanna run. I wanna run back to your arms again. Ain't no one in the world.
We can name a thing. We can name emotions. We can unpack our triggers. We can trace every behavior back to childhood. We know how to self-reflect, self-soothe, and set a boundary. But the part that no one really wants to admit is we've actually also gotten weaker. Not because anybody is broken, but because we've started to believe that being wise means avoiding anything that hurts, that maturity means that I'm not engaging, I'm not doing this anymore, that growth means leaving anything behind that stretches us because we now confuse discomfort with danger. We know how to talk about everything, but we don't know how to stay in anything. We call it evolution, and I know that I'm using absolute statements, but I'm gonna keep doing that because too often what I'm seeing is emotional avoidance dressed up in language, because wisdom is supposed to guide you, not shrink you. Yes, we have gotten wiser, but some of that wisdom came at the cost of our strength. We've learned how to protect ourselves, but we have forgotten how to handle life.
Man, Miss Hopkins, boy, she on the grassy knoll taking folks out, man. She's not playing. She's cooking with the rarest grease. And I love it. I love what she's saying. A lack of resilience, right? Society is getting weaker in terms of emotional resilience, right? Now, but I do believe that there's a gray area there because she mentioned speaking in absolutes. And I do believe that there's a gray area. Yes, people, especially in your family, your loved ones, they might coalesce around you because you have a light, you have a gift, and there's a strength in you, and there's a quality in you that could potentially feed the masses, right? You are the proverbial endless loaves of bread and fish, the miracle that Jesus made. You could be that way. But if social norms or belief systems or, your concepts of what that might mean to you are defined as I'm being crowded, it's too much going on, people are taking from me, then you might not be able to reach that potential. But then there's a fine line to that, where when people are disingenuous, when they come to you, not because of you or for you, they're coming to get something from you. And I think that's a self-awareness thing, right? I think that's definitely a self-awareness thing. Like if you're an anxious preoccupied or some type of empath and you're just giving because there's a modicum of validation coming back to you, then you might be doing that to yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? You might be creating the I'm surrounded mindset when in fact, right, it's a projection of your thought process. But that still could be the case. That's why I said it's a gray area. And she mentioned it. She alluded to it. And I think that that was dope that she did that. The proximity illusion, when closeness is a cloak for emotional control. There are some folk who want to be close to maintain some level of control. That's when you're surrounded and not supported. If somebody just wants to be around and they're not pouring into your cup, you're not supported. You're surrounded. You're being surveilled. You're under surveillance. They are a monitoring spirit in physical form. They didn't even give you the spirit. They show up. Do you see? Right? Emotional proximity versus relational presence, when closeness is the new cage. This is not an avoidant thing. This is a what are you here for thing. Are you here to just extrapolate, right? My spiritual crop? Are you here to be a soul grazer? Right? Here's your philosophical insight. Proximity is not ontology. To be near is not to be known. Sartre's view of the other reveals that we often reduce others to what we project onto them. Support then becomes a function of projection, not presence. Your psychological insight. Attachment wounds distort safety signals. We cling to the familiar, even if it's dysfunctional, because it mimics the emotional environment where we were conditioned to regulate within. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. When I come forward, I'm going to give you our spiritual and metaphysical insight. We cooking right now. I want to know, are you supported or do you feel surrounded?
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams has secured endorsements from nearly 100 faith leaders in his re-election bid.
Each one of you at one given time have prayed for me during the most difficult moment of my life. Look at these 3 years and 7 months. You don't survive this without faith.
Standing with preachers, rabbis, and imams on City Hall steps, Adams defended himself against past bribery and fraud charges, calling them political and noting they were dismissed under Trump's Department of Justice. BET is pausing the Soul Train Awards and Hip Hop Awards to, quote, reimagine, end quote, them for today's media landscape. CEO Scott Mills says the shows are not canceled, just on hold. And Dr. John Colbreth, the first black superintendent of Dougherty County Schools in Georgia, has died at 77. The coroner says he passed from natural causes. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Travis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. For this free information, call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. That's 800-433-8909. Or simply visit godra.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Close your eyes, make a wish, and blow out the candlelight. For tonight is just your night. We're gonna celebrate all through the night. Pour the wine, light the fire. Girl, your wish is my command. I submit to your demands. I will do anything. Girl, you need only ask. I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you when you want me to, and I will not.
Welcome back to Healthy Don't Hurt. It's a Monday. I'm about to tear it up because you know I got that dog in me. So today's video is how to tell if you are being tolerated or celebrated with your friends. This is something that many people struggle with, especially because people hate being alone. Now, one thing that I've noticed, me personally, and this has only happened about once or twice in my life, is that when you are around a group of friends or a friend group that starts or has been tolerating you instead of celebrating you, you can normally tell because they normally do one of two things. You'll be hanging out with them at the function, everyone's having a good time, and then the conversations start to brew up and people start to talk about events in the future. Now, if you start to realize they talk about an event that's occurring in the future and everyone's invited except for you, and no one puts any effort into inviting you, and you would almost literally have to invite yourself to be welcome to this event, you are being tolerated and not celebrated. The second thing that tends to happen is you start to notice the communication is heavily one-sided. You go from them messaging you first occasionally to them not communicating first at all. I'm talking phone calls, text messages, Snapchat. You literally have to make the first point of contact every single time. And now I know some people are going to be like, well, I'm busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on. No one is so busy that they can't send a text message, a video message through FaceTime, through Snapchat, through Facebook. They can't pick up the phone and call you to see how you're doing or to invite you somewhere or to link up. No one is that busy because in all reality, when it comes to the people that are actually important to them, they make sure to make the phone call to everybody else. They make sure to...
Sounds anxious, preoccupied to me. I hear a little AP on them. I know. I can hear a little bit of it. Gosh, some people are really busy and can't get right back to you. I knew it was going to be a little shaky by the name of the clip. What's the name of? What did he call it? Something doesn't hurt or something. What? Healthy doesn't hurt or healthy hurts, or what did he say? He said healthy doesn't hurt. I'm like, well, that's not true. Yeah, that was the first fumble at the 2-yard line with the game on the line. And I get it. I mean, yes, healthy don't hurt. That's not true. Sometimes the healthiest things for you actually hurt. Yeah. individuation, the dark night of the soul. All of this hurts, but it's actually good for you. Come on, man. The voice of reason is cutting up tonight's topic, man. Are you supported or surrounded? This is deep. This is deep. If you're surrounded, I call those people soul grazers, right? You have grown an insecure crop in your spirit, and they see it and they come get some every single time. Here's your metaphysical and spiritual insight on that. In Vedic and Ifa cosmology, false closeness creates energetic enmeshment, an entanglement that mirrors karma or debt, right? Spiritual debt, karma, not communion, right? Your clinical and empirical insight, studies on trauma bonding, Patrick Carnes and Judith Herman, confirm that psychological closeness can occur in the absence of empathy. Proximity is not a reliable marker of support. Soul grazing as spiritual cannibalism, the psychoenergetic theft of selfhood. Soul grazers, how people feed on your presence while starving your personhood. Nietzsche warned of the will to power hidden in the guise of care. Many people want your energy, not your essence, because your essence threatens their illusion of control. Your psychological insight, covert narcissism, and fawn responses create a silent economy where emotional labor is traded for pseudo-belonging. Your spiritual and metaphysical insight, soul grazing, is etheric parasitism. Parasitism. Being a parasite, that's what they're saying. It disrupts the auric field and weakens the vibrational sovereignty of the empath, creating karmic leaks. Your clinical and empirical insight here. Empirical research on emotional labor and burnout, Mashlock, shows that overgiving, right, leads to identity erosion and chronic depersonalization. Oh, Lord. Are you surrounded or supported? Can two things be right at the same time? I learned a new phrase. Well, I'll save that for later. But yes, I think two things could be right at the same time. I think some people in your circle could be, right, surrounding you, surveilling you. And then some people in your circle could be supporting you. But the question is, how do you recognize them? How can you tell the difference? It's very interesting to know. 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. I want to get everybody in here right now. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Dope there. You say that two things can be right because that's what speaking. In terms of perspective, I think it's dope to find that ability to be both at the same time. You know, like not necessarily stuck by being surrounded, yet from a parasitic standpoint, if you're like that papaya seed, you're magnetizing all the stuff that's to be expelled. We how brothers have spoken to, like JG and all, like with the kamikaze, like to a degree when I'm on mission, I want y'all to be huddled up if you're not in support of my sustenance, so that when comes time to get rid of y'all, it's more energetically effective, or it's economic in that sense too. So it's not to be afraid to remain in position. Yet again, that analogy that you were speaking to, the soul grazing, like it inspired me to think like about a lesson leech, or how you rotate cattle, and even to say what they poop away or what they feel are the things to excrete on your property, they're actually still beneficial when you're whole being or your whole plot, your whole mindset, your bottom line is rooted in good nourishment, that's what's supporting you and that's what you're living as being a part of and one of anyway, like you're going to continuously remain supportive or be able to direct cattle, if you will, or even like set up barricades, like not to be too, to use so many analogies or visuals, but it helps kind of draw those lines and say, I can be both. It's no problem, especially when all the while there's a lot of things that we don't necessarily perceive or see with the naked eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yet at all times our ancestors, our angels, our greater good, or, you know, those truths that still would bang back at those who don't believe in us, including myself. However, it's mad. It's like once that veil gets ripped and you can really see what's going on, you're being supported regardless. Lord willing,
Go ahead.
You're going to embrace that. Now, I'm with you as well. Just like just saying, Lord willing, you can embrace that and say, through your relaxation, being surrounded to an extent is a part of your assignment to be the change out here in your own life and lives of others. And what doesn't belong is going to fall off along the way. But that when you're shook or too afraid, you're losing sight of that true control, the true authority at all times. For myself, it's just that surrender to say, like, well, you're a moth, flame, you're going to burn.
I got it.
Come if you would, like, you know what I'm saying? Just let it rock.
I got it, brother. You always cooking, man. I love it. The nephew from where? What did you bring in? What did you do?
You already know, my lucky A-Town. What's happening?
A-Town is in the building. You know what it is. Atlanta in the house, on the board first. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas, and Indianapolis. Let's get it.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
In your eyes and I can see you've loved so dangerously. You're not trusting your heart to anyone. You tell me you're gonna play it smart. We're through before we start, but I believe that we've only just begun.
How do you feel when you try to take part in a group? It's super common for those of us who grew up with abuse and neglect to feel as adults that we are somehow not quite part of things. Do you have this? Where you feel like you're on the outside of groups, kind of in it, kind of not in it, but never really part of it. Or you start as a full participant, but then you pull away over time. You uninclude yourself. I've done this so many times. Now maybe you're resigned to the fact that groups are just not for you, but belonging is important, and it's a real need that all people have. So you might be still trying, joining groups, getting uncomfortable, or feeling excluded, and then dropping out again. And maybe you think in each case that the problem is other people, and sometimes that could be true. But the telltale sign that this could be a personal choice, even when it doesn't feel like it, is that you're almost always at about the same distance from the center. And by that I mean every group has a center, a leader or two who are at the very middle, and then all around them are the people who put a lot of time and energy into the group. And a little further out are the people who are involved and influential, but not as much as the people near the center, and so on. Now, in my case, I used to always like to settle at about 80% out from the center, invited to the party, but not responsible for making the party happen. And a lot of times I'd start out motivated and thinking, you know what, this group is great. I've finally found my people. I want to be involved with this. And then I'd move towards the very center of the group, maybe take on a more active role, maybe even a leadership role. And then sooner or later, probably sooner, I would find some reason to pull back. I might go to about 40% out of the circle first, but eventually I'd bounce out of the group altogether. So being part of something was, and in some areas of my life, it still is really uncomfortable for me. So why is that? I used to think my trouble with groups was just one episode of bad luck after another, the wrong coworkers, the wrong mom's group, the wrong 12-step friends. And I'd think, I guess I'm just really different. These people don't get me. And I never saw that it was a consistent pattern until I had a lot of healing from dysregulation and I started to have some clarity. And it makes sense because being in a group, when you have the sensitivities of childhood PTSD, can be too much. People are triggering, right? And groups of people, it's like a bunch of triggering people and the group dynamic that brings up all your pain about belonging and fitting in and all the times that that didn't happen. So dealing with a lot of people can be like an assault on your senses. And it gets really emotional. It's like a high school experience that just never stops.
You're listening to the VOR live on KBLA Talk 1580. And as usual, we're in here cooking with topics that, don't fit the normal fare, right, in relationship discussions. We're not talking about BBLs. We're not talking about the new baby hair craze. We're not talking about eyelashes the size of garage doors. We're not talking about Beijing, men coloring man makeup. We're not talking about any of those things and their effects on relationship. Sure, they may affect relationship in some way. No, we're getting at the underbelly, the psychological, the spiritual, right? We're talking about those things that matter most in terms of why we're in a relationship to begin with. Tonight's topic, are you supported or surrounded? How do you feel? The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580, mirror or mask. The weaponization of empathy in intimate relationships. Weaponize empathy. How support becomes a strategy of suppression. Your philosophical Martin Buber's I-it versus I-thou suggests that true connection is rare. Most empathy is a tool of manipulation or emotional management. Are you surrounded? Are you being surveilled? Or are you supported? And do you know how to tell the difference? Your psychological insight, codependent individuals often equate empathy with control. Helping becomes a covert contract for being needed. Your spiritual metaphysical insight, true empathy in Taoist thought flows through, not from. When it becomes about you, it is no longer divine. Your clinical insight here, research on emotional enmeshment, Bowen and others, shows that empathy without boundaries is indistinguishable from fusion and is correlated with emotional dysregulation. Oh my goodness. When we come forward, the phone lines are open. We're going to Houston, Texas, and Indianapolis. I already know what those two calls are going to be like. Let's get it.
Now I'm not ready to kiss that dream goodbye. When it's this sweet, there's no saying no. I need you so I'm ready to go.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams has secured endorsements from nearly 100 faith leaders in his re-election bid.